Hey, so last time we were trying to break everything up into all the code that was in this run 3JS into smaller methods, and that worked except for we ran into problems with this code, and basically there was context issues and all that. So now I'm going to circle back and get that done real quick, and then maybe it shouldn't take too long. So, anyways, we're back to kind of step one where we're going to do the strong typing. So, I'm going to do the whole string, setting this to string and saying that there's an error. So, this one says this error isn't quite as helpful as in the past when I did this a few videos back, but this error down here is pretty helpful. So, this is expecting an HFR frame request callback. A callback is a kind of function, just a function that you curry over to another function to be executed. So basically, an X frame callback apparently accepts two things: a time and a frame. Earlier, I was playing around and console logging the frame, and it's null. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, so now we've got our XAHR frame callback. We know what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that into its own um, method, callback, and it returns. And let me copy this out. This is actually not a 3JS thing. This is a API thing. So let's see, we go there, and then um, just we'll take this guy and copy all of this, and we'll put it into here. Oops. No, I think I hit Control B instead of Control V. And then in this function, in here, we will return the animation. And I don't know what its problem is. It's either a function. Must return value. I must put that in the. Oh, I put that inside of the function. Function. Um, so here you go. Boom. And I guess that means that we really should have a semicolon there. And then this should be, we just execute the this dot animation callback. That probably, most of these functions should probably be private. This one should definitely be private, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is for the moment, uh, just for in the future if we want to kind of play around. So that's good. Now it seems like this render set animation loop should go in our setup renderer method, and we should not have any. Yep, and we do not have any of these. And now it seems like Ren3JS is kind of a bad name. So it seems like this should be like setup DOM or attached DOM. And now we should have a error, and we should be able to just hold control down and it take us to the error. And that's because we renamed this thing. Did we? I could have sworn we. Yeah, attached DOM. And there's that. So cool. So one thing that we probably should think about is like, okay, so when we started working on this, literally we could just focus on the code, right? The code that we were changing. We did not have to think about um, adding meshes or setting up cameras or anything because like this was literally all the code we were looking at was this stuff. Close that. Um, this is what we had before. It was everything that's in red, and like there was nothing else to think about, and that's the whole point to breaking this stuff down. It just makes it a lot easier to reason about the code. And so now, like if you think about it, now this attached DOM, we look at this and It's like, oh wow, we never even needed window or anything. Like the only place we need window is up in here. It's easier to um, reason about that. Um, and then um, down here, we see all we really need is a element to that has this append child thing to it. So that means we could probably set up a template reference variable or something like that. Um, so this is easier reason about. Like you don't really need to understand it. So like maybe one thing we could do is put a DOM element that only goes like halfway up and then give it that DOM element and it probably would just work, right? Like and like how things get added to the scenes, what a scene is, none of that is relevant when you're thinking about this code, attach DOM. Like we could just say that we're passing a DOM element in and then have this be a variable and then attach DOM. And maybe that's probably what I'll do next time is go into the application code. Let's go back to here. Go into this HTML, add a DOM element that maybe spans 100% and 50% vertically, and then maybe this will be where we could have like some buttons or toggles or sliders or something so that we can control things like the zoom or whatever. But anyways, that was simple. That was fun. That was exciting. Um, I don't know what would be a good place to catch for this thumbnail. Probably like that. Anyways, catch you all on the flip side. Hopefully, we can do that tomorrow. Happy coding. Bye bye.